If you've been feeling like the political landscape is more divided than ever, you're definitely not alone. It often feels like we're watching two completely different movies depending on which news channel we flip to. But every once in a while, a moment cuts through the noise, a conversation that feels real, raw, and surprisingly honest. That moment happened recently on Club Random, and it involved an unlikely duo, the ever-provocative Bill Maher and the president's daughter-in-law, Lara Trump. Now, picture this. You have Bill Maher, the liberal comedian who has never been shy about roasting Donald Trump, sitting across from Lara Trump, a fierce defender of the MAGA movement. You'd expect a shouting match, right? Or maybe just 60 minutes of awkward silence. Instead, what we got was a fascinating, tense, and incredibly revealing clash over one of the most emotional topics in America right now, illegal immigration. And right in the middle of it, Maher made a comparison between Donald Trump and Barack Obama that was so blunt, so unfiltered, and so human, it stopped everyone in their tracks. The uncomfortable truth about deportation. Let's be real for a second. Immigration is messy. It's emotional. It's about families, safety, rules, and dreams. And for a long time, the narrative has been black and white. One side says build the wall, and the other says compassion first. But Maher, in his signature style, decided to blow up the gray area. During the episode, the conversation turned to the ongoing ICE raids that have been dominating the headlines throughout 2025. Lara Trump was defending the administration's hardline stance, arguing that we either have rules or we don't. It's a sentiment a lot of people resonate with, the idea that a country needs borders to function. But then, Maher did something interesting. He didn't just yell fascist and flip the table. He actually validated a point conservatives have been making for years. Obama deported a lot of people too, Maher admitted. And he's right. History buffs and policy nerds know this. Barack Obama was often called the deporter-in-chief by immigration activists during his presidency because his administration removed millions of people. Maher didn't hide from that fact. He put it right on the table. Cruelty versus policy, the a whole factor ***. But here is where the blunt comparison comes in, and where the emotional weight of Maher's argument really lands. After acknowledging the numbers, Maher pivoted to the human experience of those deportations. He looked Lara Trump in the eye and drew a sharp, painful line in the sand. He, Obama, just didn't do it by being an **** hole, Maher said, dropping the casual bomb that only he can. By being a thug, by being masked, by tackling people. Maher wasn't arguing about the law, he was arguing about dignity. He painted a visceral picture that goes beyond statistics. He talked about the cruelty of the current methods, the images of people being physically tackled, the fear of masked agents, and the sheer aggression that seems to define the current enforcement strategy. He described the current approach as sending them to other countries to basically consign them to this kind of hell of the worst kind of prisons in the world. It's a powerful distinction. It asks us to consider, is the punishment fitting the crime? Maher's point was that even if someone is here illegally, treating them with brutality is a choice, and it's a choice that defines us as much as it affects them. The Home Depot reality check. What made this conversation so high engagement wasn't just the celebrity names, it was how relatable the examples were. Maher tapped into a frustration that many Americans, even those who voted for Trump, are feeling right now. He told Lara that the natives are restless, even among Trump's own base. Why? Because when people voted for stricter borders, they were picturing safety. They were picturing the removal of dangerous criminals, gang members, and traffickers. They voted for, let's get the criminals out of the country, Maher explained. And what they got was, no, let's find people who've been working here for 10 years and go to Home Depot and get them. That is the emotional hook. We all know that person. Maybe it's the guy who fixed your roof, the woman who works in the kitchen at your favorite restaurant, or the neighbor who has been quietly raising a family next door for a decade. When the enforcement shifts from stopping a cartel member to tackling a guy who is just trying to buy plywood at Home Depot to support his kids, the emotional calculus changes. It stops feeling like law and order and starts feeling like bullying. Lara's defense: rules are rules. To give credit where it's due, Lara Trump didn't back down. She held her ground, and her defense offers a glimpse into the uncompromising mindset of the current administration. There's nothing that feels good about seeing people who had good intentions, Leaving our country in this manner, she admitted, showing a flash of empathy. But she quickly pivoted back to the hardline. However, we either have rules or we don't. We either have laws or we don't. She insisted that ICE is targeting the worst of the worst: gang members, drug dealers, human traffickers. And she argued that the other people getting caught up in the raids are collateral damage. I'm not saying they're bad people, she said, but they did break the law to come here. This is the central tension of 2025. It's the clash between the rigid application of the law and the messy, heartbreaking reality of human lives. Lara argues that you can't have a country without strict enforcement. Maher argues that you can enforce the law without losing your soul. Why this resonates so deeply? Why did this clip go viral? Why are we talking about it? Because it touches on a fear that we're losing our sense of proportion. We live in a world that loves extremes. You're either open borders or deport everyone. But most of us live in the middle. Most of us want safe communities, and we want to treat people with basic human decency. Maher's blunt comparison gave voice to that middle ground. He stripped away the political talking points and made it about behavior. He effectively said, you can enforce immigration laws. Obama did it, but you don't have to be cruel about it. It's a reminder that how we do things matters just as much as what we do. The emotional takeaway. At the end of the day, this conversation wasn't just about politics, it was about character. Yes, maybe you shouldn't be in this country if you don't belong in this country legally, Maher concluded, offering an olive branch to the rule of law crowd. But you also shouldn't get that as the punishment. It's like everything goes too far. Everything goes too far. That might just be the slogan for our times. Whether you agree with Maher or Lara, it's refreshing to see two people from opposite sides actually talk about this, rather than just screaming past each other. It forces us to ask ourselves, what kind of country do we want to be? One that follows the rules? Absolutely. But hopefully, one that doesn't lose its heart in the process.